Benjamin Johnson. I want to talk a little bit about how sometimes when you want to make somebody's career bigger than another person's career and you want to diminish somebody else's career, I just want to show you how you can actually focus on the negatives and the positives of one person to make them blow up larger than what they possibly are. And you can focus on another person's negativity and make them smaller than what you think they really are. And what I don't like about that is sports. I think that sports analysts has an obligation to be truthful about their sports figures, and allow the public to actually determine who they think is better or greater. For example, when it comes down to talking about Michael Jordan and LeBron, I'm not passing judgment on who which one of these guys was greater than the other guy, because they had totally different games, and they played in totally different eras. But what I want to do is I just want to shine a light on how people actually make people believe things that's really not necessarily true by falsifying facts or by minimizing facts or by lying by omission. For example, when they talk about LeBron and they talk about his championships, and they say that LeBron actually blew 4 out of 7 championships. If you look at it on the other end of that, you would see that LeBron was way more successful during his playoff runs than Michael Jordan actually was. In fact, from the age of 18 to the age of 32, and I'm going to do what Skip Bayless does and what Stephen A. Smith does, but I'm not going to do it to LeBron. I'm going to do it to Jordan, right? Just to show you for an example of how you can turn things around. Michael Jordan got knocked out of the playoffs 3 times in the first round, 2 times in the second round, and 1 time in the conference championship. In the Eastern Conference Championship against the Knicks, Michael Jordan scored 15 points. Also in the Eastern Conference Championship against the Heat, the Miami Heat, Michael Jordan went 0 for 14. And this is the playoffs, 0 for 14, 1 for 22, and ended up at the end of the game with a 26% average. In 1996 against Orlando, he scored 17 points. In 93 against the Cavs, he scored 18 points. In 89 against Detroit, he scored 18 points. And in 95 against Orlando, he scored 19 points. Against the Heat in 97, he had a 26% shooting average from the field. All right, so but they don't focus on that. They just focus on, right? Michael Jordan has never won a title without Phil Jackson, but Phil Jackson has won 5 titles without Michael Jordan. Actually, Michael Jordan was fortunate enough to arguably play with one of the greatest college basketball minds in the history of college, which is Dean Smith in North Carolina, which had a great traditional winning culture there that Michael Jordan played with. That's there. Then he gets hooks up on the team with Phil Jackson, Scottie Pippen. Now Scottie Pippen is the poor man's LeBron James. Scottie Pippen could do everything on the court, but that's not the point. The point is, at the time, Phil Jackson had a championship system in place. Now, the reason why you know he had a championship system in place at the time is because he took the same system, brought it to LA, and got 5 championships without Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan has never won a championship without Phil and Scottie. If Michael Jordan, because they give Michael Jordan all the credits for the 6 championships, and every time they compare him with LeBron, they say 6 championships. However, Michael Jordan was in the league for 15 years. What happened to those other 9 years that he didn't win championships? If he was so responsible for winning those championships, Michael Jordan would have won 15 of them instead of 6 with Phil. He would have won more championships without him. But without Phil, he actually got knocked out of the playoffs 3 times. See, they don't focus on that. I'm not saying that to say that Michael Jordan's a bad player. I'm saying that to say that they don't focus on that to make Michael Jordan even greater than what he was and to tear LeBron down. So now when they talk about LeBron, they say LeBron lost in the finals 4 times, and he won 3 times. Well, At the same exact age, which is 32, LeBron won exactly as many titles as Michael Jordan. However, he had a greater playoff record. The man went to the finals four more times than Michael Jordan in that span. And LeBron James has never been knocked out of the first round of the playoffs. And I hate to hurt anybody's feelings, but by the time Michael Jordan started winning championships, the Pistons was all but washed up. They wasn't in their prime anymore. The Lakers had lost Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and they wasn't the same Lakers that they used to be. And the Celtics, Larry Bird and them was not the same Celtics that they was by the time he won his championships. And I hate to say that. Also, LeBron James, who stunk it up, I'll admit it, who stunk it up during the Mavericks. Probably the worst finals, can you say, of any pro? I'll say it. You know why I'm going to say of any pro or anybody at his stature? You know I'm going to go ahead and say that? Because I'm going to tell you something else. In the NBA Finals against the best team, arguably, in the history of the NBA, which is the Warriors, he scored 208 points, 79 rebounds, 62 assists, 16 blocks, and 18 steals. All first in every category on both teams. Now let me ask you, does the great numbers that he put up against the Warriors negate 6 years later when he stunk it up against the Mavericks? See, why would you continue, Skip, to focus on when he stunk it up when in another finals he did greater than any other player has ever did in NBA history? And when you mention that, you go, he sure stuffs the stack sheets. In order for an NBA player to stuff the sheets, they have to do everything that's on the sheets. So he actually had to block 16 shots. He had to steal 18 times. He had to have 62 assists. He had to have 79 rebounds, and he had to score 208 points. It's more than everybody on each one of those teams. That is every position on the team. He was better than everybody else at every position during the finals on that team. Okay, let me help you out here. When Michael Jordan was in college, they don't talk about this because they don't talk about LeBron. When Michael Jordan was in college, his first 3 years, he averaged 13, 20, and 19. LeBron James' first 3 years in the NBA, his first 3 years coming up as an 18 straight out of high school, he averaged 20, 27, and 30, along with 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Now, this is what he did. Now, Michael is in college after school, and he's doing less in college than LeBron did after school in the pros. LeBron kept bringing teams to the NBA Finals without a championship system. LeBron didn't play. LeBron never played with Greg Popovich. He never played in a system like that. He never played in a system like Pat Riley. He never played in a system like Red Auerbach. He never played in a system like Phil Jackson. LeBron had a better record than Michael Jordan, man, up to the age of 32, playing in systems that was built by rookies. And he's the one that was orchestrating the systems. And he kept going to the finals. In fact, when Michael Jordan left the Bulls and went to play baseball, they had a 57 winning record. When he left, they had a 55 winning record, and they went to the Eastern Conference. And if it wasn't for that cracked up call that the refs called on Larry Johnson, they would have went to the finals without Michael Jordan. They would have went to the finals. The only reason why they didn't go to the finals is because of that they called a foul on a 3-point shot. And if you go back to the tape, he didn't touch him. That's the only reason why they didn't go to the finals without Michael Jordan. Now, if LeBron leaves your team, let's be honest, if LeBron leaves your team, do you know that your butt is going back to the lottery? You ain't gonna just lose 2 games the next season. No, if LeBron leaves your team, you have to rebuild. LeBron won 4 went to the 4 finals with the with the Miami Heat. The next year, they didn't even make it to the playoffs, I don't think. When he left Cleveland, they was in the lottery. When Michael Jordan left, they still had the same record. They missed the finals. But even when Michael Jordan came back that next year with his greatness and played for the half a year, they could not get over the Orlando Magic. He didn't win. He didn't get out of the game. So again, yes, he's perfect in the finals. He has a perfect system to play in the finals. Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson won 5 championships without Michael Jordan in the finals with Kobe, Shaq, Kobe, Kusal. Okay. All I'm saying is I'm not saying that Michael Jordan's not a great player, guys. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you need to give LeBron James more credit than you do, man, and kind of be more honest about Michael Jordan and his career when you compare it to LeBron James. Because it's easier to compare people with Michael Jordan, quiet as his kept, than it is to compare people with LeBron James. Because there's people who scored more than Michael Jordan. Nobody has been more of a complete player than LeBron James. And when I say nobody, look it up. Nobody. No championship system. He's never played on what you would consider the greatest team of all time. Michael Jordan has played on a couple of teams that you would consider the greatest teams of all time. And so did Magic Johnson, and so did Larry Bird, and so did Tim Duncan. All of these people played on teams that you would consider in history the greatest teams of all times. Name one team that LeBron played on, going to 7 finals, 3 NBA championships, that you would consider the greatest teams of all times. Name one. You can't. But the reason why he's so successful is because he knows how to get the greatest out of the people that's around him. And he's probably the greatest of all time. My name is Benjamin Johnson. Thank you very much. My website is Rebellious Ambition. Have a great day.